So we got a little late start today because we had a Zoom program with UMass Boston. We're doing a weekly series with them. So our Wednesday programs won't probably start till about 1:15 because we're 12 to 1 with UMass. So just put that in your calendar because I know, being here for 1 o'clock in these programs is probably top priority, right? So I'm at Animal Adventure. We're going to continue our thing with pets. I want to talk to you about turtles. People make fun of me a little bit because they say I have an obsession with turtles. Could have worse obsessions, right? I do love turtles. I actually have a tattoo of a turtle on one of my teeth. I won't show you, but I do have it. So we're going to start off with something a little different. Yeah, this is an African side neck or African mud turtle. This was given to us by a customer that had him as a pet. They took great care of him, and I don't honestly remember the reason why they couldn't keep him anymore. But they took very, very great care of him. And sometimes people will have pets and they're moving or just circumstances in their life change. Most of the animals we take in are from very nice people that do a great job and just need a place for their animals because the circumstances of their life have changed. And this guy is great. He's a water turtle, so if you're going to have an African side neck or African mud turtle as a pet, you need to have an aquarium and a good filter system and a place for them to come out of the water and lay in the sun as well. We give them turtle pellets, which is fine. The Reptimin or any good water turtle pellet is good. We also give them crickets and earthworms. Earthworms are very nutritious. And then we throw some live fish in there, like guppies and tuppies and things like that from time to time. And sometimes people will bring us just like little local minnows and things that we'll give them as as a supplement to their diet. But they're a nice little animal, more popular, I guess, than these. The red-eared sliders. The red-eared slider, when you get them small, they're cute and everything, but they grow pretty big. And we take in literally hundreds of red-eared sliders a year. And the laws keep changing. Sometimes they're illegal to buy and sometimes they're not, so you have to keep up on that. But these are nice little animals. Again, they live in the water and do need a land area as well. So most of their time is spent in the water. And the mud turtles are pretty neat. I like this one a lot because their necks go sideways, which is a little different, hence the name side neck. And then they have this, the plastron, which is the bottom of the shell, has a hinge so they can fold up, and that's a characteristic of mud turtles. So kind of a neat little water turtle, something different. If you're looking for a different turtle, this little guy is called a Russian tortoise. And if you call it a turtle or a tortoise, it really doesn't matter. Technically, in the science world, all shelled reptiles are classified as turtles, and in different parts of the world use different terminology. Over here in North America, any turtle that lives on the land that has a back foot that is shaped like an elephant foot, which I can show you on a bigger species, we deem as tortoises pretty much. This is a little male Russian tortoise. The males get about 1.5 times this size, and then the females get about 3 to 4 times the size. So still small. Still, if I use my hands to show you, Russian tortoise isn't going to get any bigger than like that. So it's a nice, hardy tortoise. They are herbivores, so we give ours kale, spinach. We buy a tortoise biscuit, which is really good. They come in different sizes, and the big ones you can break up, and you can soften them a little bit, but it's also good to leave some of them hard because it'll help keep their beak nice and trim. Also, putting in carrots. Now, it is okay to shred up your vegetables for them some, but people tend to overdo it. I know sometimes when we hire new people, they'll be in there and they'll get everything into like a baby food consistency, and we have to constantly correct them, and they'll say, oh, but we need to slice it up and shred it so that they can bite it. No one's slicing and shredding their food for them in the wild, and when you do that, it takes away their ability to trim their own beak, and it takes away their jaw pressure. So you want to give them something like this. I'll throw a whole carrot in there, and they'll go and bite the side, and sure, it takes them a while to eat it. They may not even eat the whole thing. If you have just one, the cat would probably rot before they got through the whole thing. But it is good to give them whole bigger items. This causes them to open their mouth larger, to bite harder, to keep their, remember you have muscles and stuff in your jaw, and that has to be exercised. If you mash up their food all the time, then the jaw won't strengthen properly. And also, you see how beautiful this beak is? That's nice. The people that had them before us did a wonderful job giving them a proper diet, and so the beak didn't overgrow. You see a lot of the tortoises that we have that come in, again, nice people, just don't have all the information, and their beaks are overgrown, and that's from give too soft of a diet or the wrong diet. So sometimes we have to use research over our emotions, because emotionally, like, oh, we're so nice to our animal, we're cutting up his food all tiny and making it beautiful and easy for him to eat, but that can be detrimental to the health of the turtle or tortoise. So we want to make sure that we're letting them do what they naturally do in the wild. And right now our tortoises are indoors, but in the nice weather these guys all go outside, and you can see his nails. We don't trim the nails, we just give them enough things to dig in and everything. In the nice weather they'll be outside, and Russian tortoises love to dig, so they'll be digging in the ground and filing their own nails naturally, because they will make little tunnels and things like that. So great little animal, doesn't get too big. Something like this could live in a 20-gallon aquarium. Of course, a larger one, like a 55, is better, or a 40-gallon breeder. Or you can make your own thing. They're really a very inexpensive way to keep tortoises like this is in baby pools. These guys don't have to have excessive heat. You can put a heat lamp on them, and I've used heat pads with them. So yeah, baby pools are very inexpensive and way to keep these guys. So there you go, Russian tortoise. Let's move on to one more. This is Anna. Anna was born here in 1997 from a female that I still have, Isabel, that was dropped off, and we took in and laid eggs, and this is one of the babies right here. And she had, I think, about 20 eggs, which is a smaller clutch. They can have up to 60. And these African spurthighed tortoises, the females can grow up to 60 pounds. She's only around 30, 35 right now, and she probably, they grow their whole lives, and they can live 100 plus years. Some tortoises have been recorded at 200 years. So we have a male tank that is about 130 to 140 pounds. So these guys get very big. We take in a lot of African spurthighed tortoises, or also called sulcatas, because at a pet store you go, and I'm for pet stores, but you get them when they're tiny, tiny hatchlings, for $50, $100 or whatever, and then they can grow very fast. She's been growing slow. A female is a better choice than a male, just because they stay smaller. So what happens is once a tortoise hits 10, 15 pounds, a lot of people don't have the indoor space for them still, and they're very destructive. I've had them tear heaters off walls and everything, so you have to be very careful with them. So right now we have them in an indoor space for them that is not gigantic, but it's sufficient for them to be cleaned and fed and move around. And then as soon as we get consistent nice weather, we have a big tortoise area for them outside. We actually just made a new area for them. Tortoises. We have so many of these, we have them in several different areas. So when you go to a pet store and you see a cute little tortoise and it's called a sulcata or an African spurthighed, don't buy it because it's cute and not too expensive until you do your research and realize that this tortoise here, if this was a male tortoise, I've seen male African spurthighed tortoises top 200 pounds. The one we have tank is 130 to 140 pounds, is literally this big. If you've been here before, you've probably seen them. So picture, trying to move around a tortoise, 130, 140 pounds. They poop like little cows, so there's a lot of cleanup. They eat a lot. This is much more of a high maintenance tortoise, but if you have the room for them, and this was something that I want a big tortoise, just do your research on them, and we'll obviously help you in any way. And they are readily available in the pet trade, just like with any animal. Just any, you want to, before you purchase one, you want to do a lot of research to make sure that you are set up for its long-term needs. So I just want to thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Hope this is helping some people out. So thanks very much. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.